not attempt to adjust your dial. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. It's your boy Big Vern. This is App Stupid, the fastest growing sports and entertainment show on these YouTube streets. You're welcome. Holla at us. Boy Big Vern in the building. Make it do what it do. You're just joining us for the first time. Welcome. Here at App Stupid Studios, we covered Alabama beating the brakes off Georgia, then for some reason letting Georgia back into the game. That was weird. So we went over their schedule. Alabama looks like they can run the table. They've got a couple of stiff matchups. They got Tennessee in Rocky Top in Knoxville. That game should be very entertaining. Then they got to go to Baton Rouge and play LSU. So we'll wait to see and render our judgment from there. But so far, right now, the SEC is still looking like Alabama is the most dominant team in the SEC. So from the SEC to an independent and also a ACC candidate for the ACC championship game, Louisville, great fight for the Bird Gang. However, they fall to the Irish 31-24 in South Bend. And from clear to the onset, Louisville played their hearts out. Now, what actually took them by surprise, they gave up 21 points in that first quarter. If you look at it, had they stopped one of those scores, they could at least had tied this up and actually went for getting into overtime and then trying to beat the Irish that way. And not gonna hold you, after that 21 points, Notre Dame's offense basically grinded to a halt when Louisville was actually clawing and getting back into things because they was down 14-24 at the half. And then they put up 10 points in the fourth quarter. However, they came up short. It's not the end of the world, as I was saying when Louisville was playing Notre Dame. If they lost to Notre Dame, they would be in good shape because they still have Clemson on the schedule. They still have Miami on the schedule. They still have some high-ranking opponents so they can get to the postseason. It wasn't just, it's not like the college football of yesteryear. If you lose one game, then you're over. No, it wasn't anything like that whatsoever. We'll go into the numbers when we get back from a quick 20 from an unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Big Vern. Drop the spot. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Order online, download the app, or visit the good folks at your local McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it. So when we go back into the numbers between the Bird Gang and the Catholics, when we look at Notre Dame, not really strong passing the ball, 163 yards for the game, 117 in rushing, 11 first downs for the Irish. Third down conversion was just atrocious. They were put in that third down efficiency to convert to get to that first down 10 times. They were only successful twice out of 10 times. Jesus. It was bad. 5 penalties for 45 yards, and then we got fumbles everywhere. Like I said, Marcus Freeman in them. And sometimes it's like the Coach K quote. Sometimes a win covers up a bad offensive performance. And this is truly one of those times, because if you look on Louisville's side, you're on the road. You want to limit those turnovers. 6 penalties for 50 yards. You're not going to beat a team like Notre Dame, and you're not playing a clean football game. 1 interception, 2 fumbles, those things you got to limit. However, if they were losing, if you're a Cardinal fan, you would rather lose this game than lose to a Miami or lose to a Clemson. This game isn't even in your conference. It's a strength of schedule. Now, we all know Notre Dame will be in this college playoff. So that will be Louisville's out of conference opponent. That would be huge for them. And so on the day you had Tyler Show, he was 41 throws for him seems like a bit much. 41 throws. His skill set to me, just looking at him play, is somewhere around 30. His skill set is somewhere around 30 throws, 30 to 34 max. Him having 41 throws, that's taking him completely in the opposite direction. And that's just my opinion. 254 through the air with 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. You had the guy on the ground, Mr. Isaac Brown. He was 13 touches for 72 yards. And that's respectable. And it looked like a running back by committee because the high man after him was Donald Chaney Jr., the transfer from Miami. He had 9 touches for 38 yards. And so you can see how things were even going. Even Tyler Shaw, he called his number 5 times, pulled it down, and he got 36 yards out of it. So, I mean, Louisville was playing the best that they could. And when they got jumped on early, it really threw them for a loop. So, congratulations to Marcus Freeman. Not going to take anything away from the Irish. They played a good game. They held on for the rest of the game. It seemed like Louisville didn't do themselves any justice. I don't think you can come out and get goose egged in the third and you're on a comeback trail and you had momentum on your side going into halftime. So, like I say, we'll look forward to the schedule when we come back from a quick 20 from the unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Big Vern, drop the spot. It's your boy Big Vern promoting another rap album this month. Currency and DJ Fresh, The Tonight Show, the sequel, in stores now. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it be Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. My personal favorites on here is Next One with Larry June, State of Course with Paul Wall, Neighborhood Superstar with Payroll Giovanni, Ethereum, First and 15th, and many more. In stores now. Yeah, shout out to Currency and DJ Fresh and The Tonight Show Part 2. Good album. Make sure you go ahead and get it. One of our picks this month. So looking forward, Louisville, they play SMU. That's at L&N. That should be entertaining. That'll get Louisville back into the I think that'll go ahead and get the confidence up. They play Virginia on the road. That game they need to lock in because Miami comes to L&N Stadium. That game has huge implications. Then after that, they get Boston College, and then they're on the road in Clemson. So Clemson and Miami would be, like I said, it would justify if Louisville was able to go ahead and beat those two teams. Louisville would be a lock for the college playoff because you would look at their strength of schedule, and they would also be in the ACC championship game again. Because after that, you got Stanford, Pitt, and then Kentucky. And then you're looking at Kentucky season and the way Kentucky ends up. If they beat Kentucky would be another high quality out of conference opponent that would give Louisville a hand up in the college football process, where you can say, hey, look, we're going to go ahead and put the Cardinals there. They beat Kentucky. And this is the world of if, okay? They beat Kentucky. If they beat Miami and they beat Clemson, they only have a loss to a Notre Dame team. That still puts them in the driver's seat. Because remember what I told you, there are going to be 2 teams out of the ACC that get into this college playoff. 4 teams from the SEC, 4 teams from the Big Ten, 2 from the ACC, 1 independent would be Miami, and then you have 1 up for grabs. And that could be out of the Big 12. Not the Mountain West, but the Big 12. So you just have to wait and see how things shake out. However, we got ourselves a rivalry here. Louisville won the first round. The second round goes to Notre Dame and the good folks of South Bend. We got a rubber match. We need to see it. Louisville v. Notre Dame, L&N next year, blackout game. I'm calling it right now. They need to make that the blackout game, where Louisville was the only team that done that, where they would turn the lights off in the stadium and it would just be the lights on the field. The blackout game. Bring that back. Woo-wee. But I could be wrong. Bird Gang faithful, let me know. Do I have it wrong? Can Louisville still make it to the playoffs despite the Notre Dame loss?